YouTube family. Welcome to my channel. I'm Desiree with Divine Geomatrix DG Readings. Today I'm going to be doing my last reading of the week for our zodiacs, which is Scorpio. Thank you for joining us, Scorpio. It does not matter whether you're a sun, a moon, a rising, or just anywhere on your birth chart. This is not tied in toward a masculine or feminine energy, I am using the Native Heart Healing Oracle, which is slightly different from tarot in that it is not necessarily situational, but it is vibrational, meaning that you can take the messages that are received and tie it in with your own personal situations and also personal realities. So let's go ahead and get into today's reading. I usually like to start off with clearing space, but before I even do that, I wanted to read the calendar quote for today. It says, if we did all the things we are capable of if we would do all the things we are capable of, we would literally astound ourselves. And the last few readings that I've been doing today have been pretty spot on with that quote. So let's go ahead and dive into your reading, Scorpio, and see if this too resonates with your messages, okay? For those who have already seen a few of my videos, I know that a few of my videos do not have my microphone, and then some do. And then I've noticed that some of my videos have this fuzzy sound in the background. I disclosed in the first couple videos that I started, dropping for this channel, that my window's right next to the water pump for the pool, and I have no control over the sound whatsoever. I put the cover on my microphone hoping that it is going to fuzz out or drown out that sound and just simply focus on my voice. So I'm just kind of playing around with all of my gear right now and figuring out what's going to work best for my videos and for my lovely viewers out there. So thank you for your patience as I learn the ropes of vlogging and using YouTube in general. But yeah, thank you for joining me, Scorpios. Let's go ahead and clear some space so that we can really dive into this message. All that I ask from you is just to really, breathe in and out completely and release any energy that no longer serves. Create that space or make that space for, for the messages to really resonate and be fully received. Okay, so I like to burn Palo Santo for my readings, and the reason being is because it is a little bit lighter on the smell versus sage. So for those that are unfamiliar with Palo Santo but are very sensitive to sage, I would recommend looking into these. It's basically very similar to sage, that it clears energy, but it's again a lighter smell and a little easier for those who are sensitive to like incense and the smell of sage. I need to clean up my desk, guys. I feel like my stones are kind of everywhere. Okay, so some for you guys at home, some for me, and some for my space. Cool. So this specific Palo Santo that I've received is actually a gift from a healer that I met yesterday at a full moon ceremony I was invited to. And he was a very, very powerful healer. And I wanted to, kind of honor his energy and also tie him in his energy with these readings because of how open and how do I say this? How much his natural energy just has to offer. So let's go ahead and, why am I doing this right now? Okay, I think this is fine. Cool, I'm good with that. Cool. All right, so let's also clear a little bit more space with my Tibetan singing bowl. again, for those lovely Scorpios out there watching, just breathe in and out completely and allow that space to be created to really receive these messages. That was amazing. Thank you, angels. Okay. Hi, Spirit. Please allow me to be an open channel for our Scorpios out there for the week of December 9th through the 15th. And I ask this with your love and light and utmost guidance always. Thank you. Okay, so for those unfamiliar with my channel and new to my videos, I do a 3-card pull. So my 3-card pull works with the first card being the current situation, the second being how to get through it, and the third being your outcome. So this is very vague, and you can apply it situational based off of what's going on in your life. Alrighty? So, first card, second card, third card. Oh, okay. You guys are awakening, Scorpios. It looks like you guys are finding out who you are. And in return, your third eye is starting to open, or you're realizing that as you're figuring out who you are and finding out your purpose and finding out what makes you you, you're opening up your third eye. Therefore, you're starting to believe in you know, higher sources and higher, like what the divine has for you. It looks like you're learning to you're learning a lot about yourself, but you're learning to be one with yourself. That spirit, that spirit and that 3D being. So this is your collective card. This is the Wheel of Creation. This has been popped up like in basically all of my readings, and it correlates with the number 1, and the number 1 is a master number, a master angel number. And it has a lot to do with your soul purpose, you know, opening up to your spiritual gifts, and really following your spiritual path. Your current situation is the Lakota tribe. This was upside down. I do want to disclose that any upside down cards usually mean that you're not there yet. With the Lakota tribe, it has something to do with, you know, finding who your real friends are, finding those who really serve your highest good and share the same you know, beliefs and insights, people who can feed you as much as you feed them, you know, just domino affecting that change as a tribe, like as a group, right? So it talks about like going into like going out in nature, especially somewhere with a lot of trees, really relating to the trees as if they're your relatives, finding that like grounding sensation, just like the roots of a tree, it is deep in the ground and it holds a lot of wisdom. That's how you are as well. But in order to really see yourself for who you are on a spiritual level, you have to remember that you too are just as much of a tree as a physical tree is, right? So our roots are grounding into the ground, and we've been around for such a long time that we are so much more wise than we give ourselves credit for, because at the end of the day, we are spiritual beings versus we are spiritual beings aside from just this human body that you see in the mirror, right? So, you know, we have to understand that as much as we want to feed the 3D being, it's not going to fully fulfill us because our soul is craving so much more for our everyday lives. This number is the 16. If you add the two numbers together, it has something to do with 7. 7 also has something to do with going out in nature and recharging, balancing yourself, grounding yourself. For how to get through it, your card is 35, and this is your crown chakra. Your crown chakra is the number 8 if you add the two numbers together. And 8 to me is like an infinity sign, so, you know, infinite energy, and yeah, just like infinite energy, infinite love. Sorry guys, my dog's barking and I want to tell her to shut up, but and then the outcome is unity. Unity is the number 2, and the unity card is the number 20. Therefore, it's the number 2 with the 0. 2 has to do with the relationship that you have on yourself. It has to do with that connection with your spirit, being one with your spirit, your physical and mental and spiritual body. So the number 1 is Wheel of Creation, and the 3 points it gives me is movement, a new start, and embrace change. It talks about the Wheel of Creation. It says that as the wheel of creation spins, we are born each day anew. Within every day there is a new tomorrow. Leave the past behind you and awaken each morning to greet yourself in the mirror with eyes of compassion and a heart that whispers, be true to you. Exciting times lie ahead. Celebrate the now. Doing so, you will color your future brightly. Very beautifully said. So it does feel like a completely new change. And see, guys, it feels like someone's awakening, and it feels like when they get here, when they get to this point where they're grounding themselves, they're letting go. They're letting go of what no longer serves, so that they can eventually become, you know, the spiritual being that they're supposed to be unconditionally. 35. Okay. So 35 has the 3 points says grounding, assessing your values and sensitivities. It says be open to your wilderness. Here you will find the unexplainable raw beauty and divine guidance of who you really are. It says it is important to note this oh, hold on. Okay, I'm just gonna read this part. Your energy has aligned with that of the Council of 12, a highly evolved non-physical team of masters overseeing the evolution of humanity's heart-centered consciousness. It is important to note this occurrence happens when one's crown and heart have expanded to activate the pure love of Christ consciousness. This enables one to further achieve their mission, recognizing your divinity and live it. This chakra can also signify attachment to the physical world, feelings of emotional disconnection, and a resignation of living life this way. It says, however, you will soon feel more connected and at one with yourself and with the universe. Reevaluate what is important to you in the physical world. Guys, did I totally skip your current situation? I think I did. So I just read crown chakra. I'm sorry, let me go back to 16. Let me go back to the Lakota tribe. So the 3 points this one gives you is your tribe, loyal friendships, and the global village. So this one says that you're being guided to heed a call from your heart to connect with your soul's family and be active within your community. Allow your gifts to be shared, to be seen, and to be felt. Everything and everyone within the universe is connected, and this mandala asks you to feel the connection we all share once again. Be reminded that you are never alone. Take time to be in nature where the tall ones, trees, are your relatives. Walk barefoot, touch, feel, and allow your senses to ignite the oneness of who you truly are. So if we connect the two together, it definitely talks about how you're opening your heart and you're opening your crown chakra, Scorpios, and you're figuring out that you have a greater calling beyond what this life has to offer. And as much as you feel inadequate here in this 3D life, this is the life we're given. This is the life we chose. So as spiritual beings, take what you want from this, but this is how I believe this specific situation to be. You're a spiritual being that came from the divine, chose to be here on earth with a mission to help the collective heal. And in order to do so, you have to wake up and you have to learn how to heal yourself, and then therefore we domino effect that change. I think you're realizing that you definitely are a spiritual being. I don't think that you're here yet to where you realize that you have a mission and that you have a greater call to reconnect with your soul family, and to also be more active in the community. I think that you need to find the like-minded people who share the same beliefs. Therefore, you can definitely grow in a spiritual way. Go out in nature and find a way to connect with nature. Therefore, you can receive all the messages that the divine is trying to give you in regards to your soul purpose, in regards to who you are, in regards to just what your mission here is on earth, and how to push through the uncomfortability. I know it's hard because when we're in an uncomfortable state, that's when we start to ask the divine for help and this, that, and the other thing. But it has to be consistent, guys. So even if you wake up and even if you one day feel, oh, okay, I'm doing everything right and I don't need to, acknowledge my angels or my spirits around me. No, that's wrong. You want to stay connected to your divine, because at the end of the day, your angels aren't going to step in and help you unless you ask. And don't just ask when you need help, when you really need the help, because that defeats the purpose. The whole point is to be consistent, so therefore you're constantly growing, constantly waking up more and more and more, and therefore your third eye is just like, and these two cards are basically telling you that, hey, your third eye is already very much open. But don't forget to ground yourself as you're doing so, because in order to fully fulfill that mission, you have to retreat, you have to let go, you have to release energy that no longer serves, so that you can create that space for something greater. Unity. So let me give you some points on the unity card on your outcome. Hold on. Okay. So the 3 points it gives me is harmony, objective reasoning, and release expectation. This card graces you with the healing energy of unity. This mandala speaks directly to the diamond core at your center of the oneness you are. The element of air with this mandala is a reminder of all that cannot be seen, grasped, or tamed. Air is the only element that is invisible. However, it can absolutely be felt. It's just as we cannot see the effect our thoughts have until they impact and manifest in our physical world. Air represents logic, clarity, disposition, and spirit, as well as the blending and unity of the heart and mind. Consciousness is the key with this element. Be aware of the way your thoughts filter through your heart. Aim for them to create a grounded balance between your physical and spiritual selves. Allow yourself the freedom of detachment from everything in your world. Each and everything reflects each other. However, you can recognize your own reflection when you find yourself becoming reactive. When a reflection becomes challenging, see it as a loving teacher who is offering you an opportunity to grow. Release expectations of self and those you have placed upon others. Feel the presence of unity rise once again within your heart. Yes. By having a tribe, by having like-minded people, it's going to open up your heart to stop placing those judgments on yourself and others. When you place those judgments, you're creating negative thoughts, therefore you're manifesting negativity in your life. And I know that, Scorpio, you don't want that. You're very neutral in the regards that you don't necessarily want like confrontation, but you will have confrontation if someone tries to attack you, kind of ordeal. So instead of putting out negative energy, why don't you just put out positive energy, and then therefore positivity comes into your life a little bit easier. Life isn't supposed to be so hard. You guys are waking up, but you're also realizing the shitty world that's around us. And I'm sorry to say it in such a like vulgar way, but I mean it in a sense that the reason why we're all waking up is because we're meant to assist that negativity that is created has been created in our world. We're supposed to be individuals who coexist, and we've forgotten that we're meant to coexist. Instead of coexisting, we're constantly at butting heads. We're constantly at each other's throat. When in all reality, we are mirrors. We are each other. We see a lot of ourselves in each other. So stop being so judgmental on others, guys, because you're bringing that energy to yourselves too. Scorpios, as you're waking up, definitely ground your energy so that you can eventually become in union, not only within yourself, but also within others. I definitely see a very strong, message for you guys right now. I truly hope that you find some, insight on this. Let's go ahead and tie this reading with an affirmation, and that way you guys can look back at your week and say, and fully focus on what it is that the divine and the angels are asking you to do. Okay? So for those unfamiliar with affirmations, they are basically a quote, kind of saying, there are positive quotes that assist in the balancing of chakras, therefore it's a healing effect on the body. And these specific cards are the Crystal Wisdom deck, and they have the energy of the crystals aside from just the affirmation. And then both the color of the crystal and the affirmations tie in with certain chakras in your body. Let's go ahead and cap this off with an affirmation, and I hope you guys have really resonated with this message. I think that with 2019 coming to a close, Scorpios, you're waking up for a reason. And, with this decade coming to a close, you are realizing that you have a bigger calling, you have a stronger calling, and, there are a lot of people who spread that negativity, so find people that are like-minded. Find people who can help spread the positive in your life and help attract more spiritual growth and more growth in general. The last thing that you want to attract is stagnant energy. And if you're around people who are living a stagnant life or choose to be stagnant in that way, then you're going to continue being in that stagnant place in your life. So you get what you put out, right? So put out positivity, therefore you receive more positivity in your life. All right, Scorpios, let's see what the affirmation is for your week. Angels, I ask that you cap this reading off with the affirmation for our Scorpios for the week of December 9th through the 15th. Dioptes. I am love and love is me. Yes, totally correlating. I highly recommend that you guys live this quote. Live it. Just be it. You are love. You are unconditional love. And the more that we are unconditional love and we practice that on ourselves and others, the more open we start to become on both the spiritual level, the third eye level, the crown level, just completely in general, and just embracing the spiritual growth that we were always meant to obtain. So I thank you, my lovely Scorpios out there. I hope that you really found some insight in this message. I hope you have a great rest of your week, and just remember that you are love, and love is around you, and we are all unconditional love. So peace, love always, and namaste.